Well, here we are again. This vlog is going to cover the 3-day weekend, holiday weekend, and 3 original shows. September 1st was supposed to be at Festival Pier, but it was moved to the Electric Factory with Stain, 3 Days Grace, and Soil. Saturday night was at the Grape Street Pub, and Sunday, September 3rd, was at the House of Blues with 3 Days Grace and Blackstone Cherry. Oh, and I'm supporting the Dane Train. This is a little tribute to Dane. Monday night was his premiere from Boston. I just didn't shave this week, that's all. This morning. Because this all came in this morning. I got the call about the show moving inside because of the threat of rain. I think I got the call that day, but I knew about it beforehand. And they moved the show inside to Electric Factory, which I guess is much smaller than Festival Pier. Someone had mentioned the lineup and said that it sounded kind of interesting, saying that you'd have some stained Octane soil, but it'd take you 3 days grace to get near you if you dipped in it, you know? Stained Octane soil. So I get to the Electric Factory, 3 o'clock, got a load in. And I pull up to the, I call it the side door. Alex calls it the back door. And I guess if you're talking about it in relation to the stage, it is the back door, not the side door. It's the one that's on Willow Street off of the Electric Factory. So anyway, I pulled up to there and waiting on Alex, and he was stuck in traffic on 76. And I had to wait anyway because 3 Days Grace hadn't loaded in yet, so they were going in next. And after they loaded in, I loaded in, and after us, Soil loaded in. We didn't have a lot of stuff. We just had the Octane's backline. We were supposed to bring in everything. We were supposed to bring in a monitor rig, everything. But we ended up talking to Stain's guys, and we ended up sharing with Stain's stuff. We used Stain's monitor rig. They both had a PM5D at the Monitor World and out front. PM5D is a Yamaha board. It's all digital. So all digital effects inside the board and everything like that. And it's the first time I ever used a digital board. And it certainly was an interesting digital board to start off my digital career in. But the systems engineer there, I believe his name was Jeff. He spent a good amount of time with me, went over the board and everything, and I stumped him. I asked him to give me some effects pre-fader, and he didn't know how to do it. So I stumped the system engineer, which I think is a good thing. But I was able to do that. Stumped the system. Anyway, he never figured it out, and not a big deal because the songs that I used that on, they didn't do. So it was a really short set. I think it was a 20-minute set that opened up the show for Octane, Soil, 3 Days Grace, and Stain. So while Soil was on, I didn't get the chance to see them at all because we were loading out. We were packing up and loading out. So I have no idea who or what Soil is. And by the same token, I don't know 3 Days Grace or Stain. So we're backstage and people are walking around and everything, and I don't know who they are. I have no idea. There were people that were very excited to see this guy walking by. That's Aaron Lewis. And I'm like, I have no idea who Aaron Lewis is. Does he push gear? Does he mix? I don't know who he is. He's Stain's singer, apparently. And even looking at the guy, I don't know. I don't know who these people are. I don't watch MTV. I don't watch VH1. I don't watch this stuff on television, so I don't know who these people are. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, maybe it's a good thing in that these people are back there, and the guy walks by and I go, "Oh my God, you're whoever you are." I don't get like that anyway. I don't really talk to people. I think it's difficult to talk to somebody you know everything about, and they don't know a thing about you. I think that's strange. Tangent, not going to use this. Here's a video.
My friends, we are Octane, born and raised in Philadelphia. We got one more song left for you tonight. You people ready to have a good time tonight? Where's all my fans of soil in the house? Come on! Where's all my fans of 3 Days Grace in the house? Where's all the Octane fans in the house? You're in for a good time. Come on, Bobby! You make me let you. Let me hear my friends on the balcony up there. Come on. Let me hear my friends back there. Come on. I want to hear my friends on the floor. Come on. Philadelphia, we love every last one of you. Thank you so much, my friends. Y'all have yourself a great night, man. We are Octane. See ya.
So we missed Soil because we were packing up, loading out when they were on. Because right after you get done, you pull everything off the stage and you throw it in the truck, and then you're good to go. You're done. 3 Days Grace went on, and I saw some of their show. Recognized a lot of their songs. A lot of songs I heard on the radio. So that was interesting. Went out front a couple times, stayed backstage most of the time. And then the same thing goes for Stain. Hung out backstage, came out front, saw a little bit of their show, got to see their robots in action. They were on the stage all night. They didn't fire them up until Stain went up there. 3 Days Grace brought in 6 Mac 250s. They did their own little show off of their racks, their amp racks, or cabinet racks, whatever you want to call them. I talked to their drum tech, bass tech guy. He's pretty cool. Wearing a knit cap the whole time. I never asked his name though. I should have asked his name. Because I could refer to him by name at this point. But I can't, because I didn't ask his name. At some point in the evening, went back and to the catering, and they had cakes and stuff, and I had a piece of cheesecake, and it was very good. But I only had one. I wanted to have another one, but Mrs. Bortnick said no. So I only had the one. Okay, so I mentioned about this Aaron Lewis guy that I have no idea who he is. 3 Days Grace walked around there. I had no idea who they were. I think I saw the big dude with the mohawk. You never know who these guys are. I talked to their house guy, 3 Days Grace house guy. He came out because he was waiting to load one of his shows into the board. He came out and he says to the guy, "Hey Jeff, can you load South Carolina for me?" But while he was out there waiting for this guy to load that up for him, I asked him, I said, "How do I get to the effects?" And he showed me around the board a little bit. And I talked to him a little bit about effects and things and what he used, and basically what he used for 3 Days Grace. And he said really short plates and really short echoes. And I left my iPod by the board, so while 3 Days Grace was on, I made my way back to the board and saw my iPod was still sitting there. And I went back there and grabbed it. And Jeff was back there. And he says, "What? I thought you left that for me." But it was one of those things where I was done loading out and everything, and I thought, you know what, I don't remember putting my iPod in my bag. And I didn't. But I shot the video, of course, which Alex had to remind me to start. Anyway, 3 Days Grace used the like the on the phone sound, and I saw the guy messing with a subgroup when that was going on, so I figured he was messing with the EQ on the vocal mic. So I figured, because he said he didn't use like that many effects, so I figured I could do the same thing on other boards with Brian instead of using the 990, because more and more I'm getting to these places that have 2000s that don't have the 990 with the on the phone sound, and I need to make arrangements for that. The only thing that's bad about that is that if you put the effect on the echo, you can't use it from the direct source. So that's a hassle. Either that or I gotta buy a whole bunch of adapters so I can tap into these boards. But I don't think the 5D is using external effect. We were backstage, we're sitting there in the room, and we hear Pantera, This Love, being played, and I figure Stained is done. But I'm like, I don't think so. I think that's Stain playing that. So we go out. Jordan runs out. And Stained is playing This Love by Pantera. That was it. Saturday, September 2nd, we were at Grape Street in Manayunk. And we got there at 7 o'clock to load in. Me and Alex loaded in. And that's about as far as we could go. There was 4 other bands, so we just left the gear in the green room. Couldn't do anything until the band actually went on, and they were going on about 12:30. So we had nothing to do for about 5 hours. We walked around a little bit. It was kind of misting, so we didn't get too far. Saw an ice cream place. We're going to get some ice cream, but they were closed. And I ended up getting some pizza across the street. Barbecue pizza and some mushroom. Had that, went back over to Grave Street. It was kind of full. Couldn't really drink. But Alex had no problem with that. I guess he wasn't as full as I was. He was able to get drinks without our drink tickets, because we're supposed to have tickets when we drink. And he schmoozed people and hooked himself up pretty good. So by showtime, Alex was asleep. No, he wasn't asleep. No sound check, no nothing. Just go on and go. Here's a video. gave away a guitar at Grape Street. It's a Fender Squire. I think Jordan picked it up, and heard him talking, saying that it plays really nice. He was surprised because it's not a very expensive guitar, but he said it was really a nice guitar for the money. And they all signed it. There's a picture. It's on the website. There's also some video of them. And they gave away that guitar. There was a number called first. That person didn't respond. So the second number that was called was the winner. At that point, I'd already packed up my iPod because I thought they were done. And Brian wanted some game show music. And then they ended up playing an encore. So that I didn't even catch that because I packed up the video camera. Didn't expect it because Barb, she wanted to get out of there, I guess, or get it all packed up. Good to go. This is a rainy night in Grape Street, Manningham. Schuylkill River right out back. At Grape Street Pub, the late night crowd, not in their normal stomping grounds, which they'll be at September 9th, presented me with an article from a newspaper that mentions wombats. And that is here. Pick this up. Wombats, and you can see this picture is a little strange, but has to do with wombats and badgers and ducks and rabbits and Monty Python. And anyway, at least the wombats getting a mention here and there. Sunday, September 3rd, we're down to the House of Blues, another 3 o'clock load-in. I figured I was going to be a lot more comfortable at the House of Blues since I've been there a couple times. I talked to the guy, 3 Days Grace house guy, Chris. I had mentioned to him about them having a 5K there, and he said he had never mixed on a 5K. And so I knew that they weren't bringing in 5D. And I get there a little bit before 3, and Blackstone Cherry is loading in. And I just pulled and parked, and another Chris, who is the stage manager over there at the House of Blues, he recognized me, and hey, how you doing? And so I waited for Blackstone Cherry to load in, move their bus, and I backed into their loading dock, and their loading dock has a little ramp thing that you can hook up to, and we could load in. And it was the same gear that we used at Grave Street and Electric Factory. So there wasn't much to unload off the truck because Alex was late getting there. He got there around 20 after 3. But all I had to do was take off Greg, Jordan, and drums because bass was using House of Blues bass rig. So all that stuff was already on the way up, and I found out where Alex was, and he said he was right down the street. So I said, okay, I'll wait for you. Plus, you can't smoke inside the club in Jersey. So I figured I'd wait. And Alex shows up, parks the car, and so we go to the freight elevator to get up there. And the guy came out of 3 Days Grace bus, and he hopped on with us. I don't know who he was. He was wearing like a hat and stuff. So we all went up there together, and there's a shorter way to get there. There's a really long way to get there, and that's the way you have to go if you have to roll stuff. You have to go like around the whole building or something, but if you know where you're going, there's like this flight of steps you can go up and make a left and you're right in there. So we went that way, and turns out that the guy we rode up with is the singer for 3 Days Grace. His name is Adam. But like I said, I have no idea. I have no idea who these people are. So he was going up there because they were sound checking, and we saw where all the gear was. It was loaded off stage right, and went out front to hear the sound check. And that guy Chris is really good. It sounded really awesome. A big empty room. Yeah, it sounded really, really good. So when he left the board, I took a little peek to see what was going on there, and it's amazing because there wasn't much EQing going on, so most of that sound was coming from the stage. The guy's kick drum just sounds awesome, and I don't think there was anything on it at all, from what I could tell. It sounded great. So at the House of Blues, we realized that that subgroup that he was pushing at Electric Factory was for another microphone that he had on stage in front of the singer. It's actually a bullet microphone, which gives you that sound of the on the phone. So it's actually a separate microphone that the singer actually sings into to get that sound. It wasn't done through EQing on the board, it's done through a microphone. But then Blackstone Cherry did a sound check, and the house guy there, Freddie, was wondering why they were doing a sound check, because as soon as they're done their sound check, Octane does a sound check, and I'm going to twist all of his knobs. So it doesn't make much sense. But Octane got to do a sound check about 5:30, and I think we were done pretty quick. 6. They wanted them done by 6:10. Originally it was 6:30, but doors are at 7. I think they tried to get the doors open a little bit earlier, but Octane went on from 8 to 8:30, like a half hour.
Thank you very much for being here with us tonight at the House of Blues. We are the band Octane, born and raised in Philadelphia, PA. I need y'all to make some noise for our friends in Blackstone Cherry. Give it up for those boys.
Sounds like we're gonna have a rock and roll party here tonight, man. We're gonna hit you up with some more music before we're done here, man. We're gonna be over there signing CDs. Please pick up a CD if you don't already own one. Check us out at OctaneRocks.com. This one from our CD, when all is said and done, is called Pure.
So they do their set, and once again, it's like the Friday show. We did not see Blackstone Cherry because we were loading out the gear, and we loaded out the gear all the way down the loading dock. Loaded up the truck and had to pull the truck outside because just in case we hung around too late and we couldn't get out of there. But we would have been fine. Basically what it was we didn't hang around this time. Or at least Alex and I didn't hang around this time. I guess it was just a long weekend, and okay, that was Brian on the phone. I have no idea where I was. I think I was talking about the House of Blues already. Riding up the elevator with the guy, not knowing who he was, and hearing their sound check was really good. And the Fred guy sound checked, and I sound checked. So being able to do a sound check before they go on was really good. So it was like we did a sound check until say 6 o'clock, and then 2 hours later they go on. So for 2 hours the board just sits there, and it's good to go with how I set them up in an empty room. Now the room's full of people, so we were good to go from the get-go. I remember as soon as they started, guitars. I couldn't hear guitars, so I cranked the guitars up. They did their set. We were loading out during Blackstone Cherry, so we missed the second band again. And we got to see all of 3 Days Grace set. While 3 Days Grace was on, me and Alex went out front. We hung out by the front of the house. And every time, everybody would jump up and down at the front. The whole floor would move. This is a cement floor. That's pretty, to me it was pretty scary that it would move like that. I mean, I guess they're made to stretch that way, but it was a weird feeling. And so I mentioned something to the house guy. I said, "Hey Fred, you feel the floor, man?" And he's like, "I should have been here when Slipknot was here." So I can imagine that was a little bit more floor moving. We hung around because basically I was just waiting for the merch. The merch was still out front, but I could have just gone earlier. But I hung out to wait for the merchandise, get that back in the truck, and our wait for the merchandise, 3 Days Grace was breaking down. So by the time we got the merchandise, 3 Days Grace gear was about to go down, and we got the merch out there, and so Chris, the stage manager out there, gave him the cart, and Alex and I sat there and we watched 3 Days Grace load up their trailer. And it seems like most of these bands now, they drive around in a tour bus and they have a trailer behind them with their stage gear in it. And they packed the crap out of that thing. They had, all their drum kit, their amps, which are in like these steel, I shouldn't say steel, but they're in these metal frames, which is basically their scrim and their cabinets and everything all in this one assembly, and it's real easy for them to just roll it on, plug it in, it's already mic'd up, plug it in and go. And they have their Mac 250s that they throw on top of that, and they have a large backdrop. Anyway, so we watched them load out, sat there for a little bit, and there was people out there waiting for them. And I saw the singer dude, Adam guy, I saw him walk right towards the bus, but we were on the other side of the bus, so I didn't see him get on or not. And the people were hanging out there, and the bass player came out, and he was taking a picture with these girls that looked like mom and like her kids, and he took the picture with them. The flash wasn't working, so he had to stay there posed for a while, and it was cool. And I peeked around the bus, and the singer was out there, the guitar player's out there. They're talking to people, and I thought, wow, they didn't just run on the bus. They were hanging out and talking with people and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. And we left. Just went home. It was over. 3 shows of all original. And we got all original pay. The whole weekend was a good response. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to concerts and to see a band, and there would be an opener, and the opener would get booed constantly. There was none of that, so I guess that's changed over the years. Which I guess is a very good thing. I guess people are more accepting and more supportive of new people coming out for different entertainment. So there it is, the 3 shows: Electric Factory, Grave Street, and House of Blues. This week coming up on Friday, September 8th, 15 North in Westchester. And then on Saturday, we're back to the Whiskey Tango. And if you remember the last time we were at the Whiskey Tango, it was a little wet. Because of that, they have a different system in there now. They have a EAW system. It looks a little familiar, but that EAW system is in there. And so we won't be bringing in the system, I believe. But we will have to bring on our monitor system because we're all ears. So there you go. There is the vlog for this week. I didn't shave for Dane, who's not my friend on MySpace, by the way. I asked him to be my friend. Haven't heard from him. Dane. So Dane, you know, get on it. I'm not shaving for you here. I can't do that Superfly thing. I've tried. Both hands. I can't do it. I mean, if you can do it, awesome. I mean, you can do it, Dane. But I'm talking about other people who are watching this. If you can do the Superfly, awesome. But I can't do it. I can't even do rock quotes. I can do regular quotes, but not rock quotes. So, that's it. Let us know that you're watching the vlogs. Get in the forums. Type. Talk. Do something. Still waiting for those t-shirts. And that's about it. So it's, once again, my time to say late.